Hey there viewers, a Transformers fan or Charlie Young back again with another Transformers review. And today's review is going to be on Collaborative, Wingtail, and Blue Booster. Now, normally I don't really do the collaborative figures, mainly because they don't really catch my interest. Although, there are some coming out soon that are really, interesting me, like those Hot Wheels ones. And yeah, I did have those G.I. Joe Transformers ones, although, yeah, they're kind of so I just had them in storage right now. But this one in particular is a crossover between Transformers and Sonic the Hedgehog. I mean, dude. Now, yeah, I do like Sonic the Hedgehog, although growing up I was much more of a Mario kid, and even now, I do love Mario, although, let's be honest, Nintendo's current business practices are kind of not too good, let's be honest. But, yeah, before I have a full-on rant about why Nintendo's not really that good a company, let's just look at the box of these two. So, the box is actually pretty cool. So yeah, of course we do have the Transformers logo, but we also have the Sonic logo. Of course, we've got the two vehicles, which are vehicles from the Sonic series, which is, again, really cool. Of course, we've got the collaborative symbol. Just have Sonic and Tails right there. And of course, we've got their names. This side, we just have Green Hill Zone. Other side, we just have Sonic running. The back, we've got them in both modes. You can see that it's just Sonic and Tails if they were Cybertronians, which I freaking love that. Now, no, it's not Sonic and Tails, but turned into Transformers. It's meant to be their vehicles turned into Transformers that look like them, according to that one video that advertises them. So, this isn't meant to be Sonic, it's Blue Booster, apparently. But I'm probably still just going to repurpose this as Sonic as a Transformer, though. Probably it's the same personality as Sonic anyway. But yeah, of course. So, Blue Booster transforms into the car that Sonic uses in the racing games. And Wingtail is the tornado, which is really cool. And yeah, it's pretty much of the box. So, yeah, this is honestly really cool. Because, Collaborative normally just takes, vehicles from popular franchises and just turns them into Transformers. You know, got Gigawatt, who's the Back to the Future DeLorean as a Transformer. Or, I'm trying to remember the Kit from Knight Rider one. I'm trying to remember. Agent Knight, that's his name, who's Kit from Knight Rider as a Transformer. Or even Party Wallop, who's the Ninja Turtles fan as a Transformer. So this is kind of following that, where it's popular vehicles from a series as Transformers. So yeah. Now, normally I would start with Sonic or Blue Booster here, but I kind of want to start with Wingtail because, well, he transforms into the Tornado, which is a biplane. We don't really get biplane Transformers. The only other example I can think of off the top of my head is Ransack from Revenge of the Fallen. So yeah, this is pretty unique. So, I don't think I've got this fully in. Okay, there we go. I didn't have this bit fully tabbed in, but yeah. So, it's a biplane, of course, as it's in the games, but we don't get Transformers biplanes. This and RTF Ransack are the only examples I can think of. We need more Transformers biplanes. Come on. But yeah, looking at Wingtail here, of course, the propeller does spin. Of course, got Sonic's name right there. Got a little canopy right there, which I'm not sure if the tornado actually has one, or if this is made up just for Wingtail. But we got this little tamper right here, which is really cool. The landing gear don't really spin, unfortunately, so it's more just to keep it propped up. But the underneath is actually quite clean. Because, like, normally with jet formers, you just get, like, Silverbolt, for example. That's the entire robot underneath. But here, it's just the hands. So this is a really clean jet mode. Although that does sort of come with a cost in the robot mode, which we'll see. But yeah, for a robot that's meant to look like a Cybertronian version of Tails, this is really clean. Like, there's no bits of yellow on them, aside from these little bits here. So they do a really good job at hiding that. So yeah. And of course, I could do this all day. Now for Wingtail's accessory, we get this gun with a little blast effect. And compared to the blast effects from like Siege, for example, this one is actually hard plastic. So, well, you put this in the gun for as long as you want and it's not going to deteriorate, which is pretty cool. And, well, we can just leave this under here. Maybe it's a bit of like, I know, a bit of like, oh, I forgot the word. It's a bit of jet trail. I don't know. But what this also does is it helps the biplane stand more upright, like it's in the air. And I guess if you want, you could also have these up. Okay, no. But yeah, with the gun attached underneath, the biplane stands more upright, like it's actually flying, which is pretty cool. I'm not sure if that was intended, probably because we got these little tabs here. But yeah, that's really cool. So yeah, overall, I love Wingtail's vehicle mode. Because, I mean, as I said, biplane transformers are very rare. And I don't even have a Revenge of the Fallen Ransack, so this is my only biplane transformer right now. So now, let's move on to Blue Booster. So yeah, this is obviously meant to be Sonic. And it's the car that he uses in racing games. I've not played Racing Crossworlds as of a recording, but I'm sure he uses this in the game. But like, he used this in like All Stars Racing Transformed, for example. Basically, if Sonic has a car, this is what he uses. I'm not sure the name of it though, unfortunately. Here's the name after it. Like, here's the name just popped in. Thanks editing me. So yeah. Now this is a really cool looking car, to be honest. Got a little dome right here. I'm not sure if it's meant to have that, but still. Got some little I guess headlights. Got these red wheels. Kind of evokes his shoes. Underneath is again really clean. Although we do have his hands just sticking out there, though. I guess if you wanted to, you could take a blast effect and like plug it in there, maybe. Trying to evoke like he's speeding off, I don't know. But he does come with some accessories. First one being this ring. It's not an actual ring, like, you can't really put your finger through it. It's more shields. Although, there's not really anywhere for this to plug in. This is more just for robot modes. But the second one is really cool. It's one of the power-up containers, because, you know, like, you would break one of these and Sonic would be invincible, for example. I'm pretty sure that's what this is meant to be. Like, with the sparkles, this is meant to be an invincibility power-up. So, got the invincibility on one side, but if we spin this, on the other side, it's an Autobot symbol. So, yeah, that's really cool. And again, can't really do anything with this in vehicle mode. This is more for the robot mode, but still, this is pretty cool. Plus, this spinny gimmick is quite fun. So, yeah. And honestly, I think these are just really good models of Sonic's car and the Tornado, to be honest, even in just vehicle modes. But of course, with this being a collaborative, they do transform, so let's move on to that. And let's start off with Wingtail, because I think his transformation is the more weird, like, his transformation is the more weird out of the two. Probably because it's kind of like shell formery, if I'm gonna be honest. Like, it's not a shell former, it's just there's some panels in it. So to start, I'm just going to fold up the landing gear. And so I'm going to untap these little struts from the bottom wings and just fold these up. And I'm just going to get this out of the way. These bottom wings, they're just plugged into here, if I can get this off. And they love to come off, so just be wary. They're not meant to come off, like, he's not a parts former, but they come off really easily, so just be wary of that. Plus, if you want to get this guy on the secondary market years from now, make sure that he does come with these bottom wings. But anyway, come around here, just going to split the tail fin here. And we're just going to open this up. So we've got, there's the yellow. So we're going to get the legs. Spin around the legs, if I can do so. Oh yeah, you meant to lift this up first, and then we can rotate the legs around. Move the feet down. Rotate these around, and then rotate the foot around. Oh, you see what I mean? Yeah. These bottom wings love to come off really easily just because they're on these little ports. But anyway, rotate a leg around, and rotate the foot. Then rotate the waist. So that's the legs all done. Now, this next step is honestly kind of awkward because, well, it relies on these bottom wings. As I said, they come off really easily, but we're just going to move these down. And then on this bit, move them downwards here. And now we want to try and get the arms out. So I'm just going to try and move the top wings out the way. And let's see if I can do this. Probably not. Yeah, no. So, I actually advise just taking these wings off and then getting the arms out. There we go. Because then, we can plug this back in. And of course, I'm on camera, so it's not going to behave itself. But you're just going to want to move the arm forward. And now we can plug this back in, where it's going to move down and also rotate up. And once again, it can also come off on this bit, so again, try not to lose that. But it's going to tab in, so hopefully it doesn't come off unless you knock it. Which, again, that's easily done, so be careful. So that's one arm and wing done. So do the same here. So undo the forearm here, rotate it around, and now we can just plug this back in. So we'll just move this down, rotate the wing around, and just get that tabbed in. There we go. Try and tilt my camera up. To build the propeller, it's going to move down to form its chest. This canopy section, if I can actually do so, it's going to spin around. And now we want to try and spin this around so it tabs into here. So do that and also spin around these little tail sections. And yeah, these do clash quite a bit, so just be wary of that. Okay, there we go. And we're nearly done. All we have to do now is open this up. Spin around the head. Oh, I just came undone. God damn it. But it's trying to spin around the head. It's gonna click into place. If I can actually do that. There we go. And there we go. Here we have Wingtail in robot modes. And honestly, I don't really like that transformation. Like, yeah, there are some cool aspects to it, but that is a lot of kibble. Like, oh my god, just look at it. And plus, yeah, the box even shows that you're meant to do it this way. Like, you see. Like, yeah, you can have the wings sort of outwards out of the Seekers. But I don't think that's the intended transformation. These are meant to be back. So, holy crap, that is... Oh. Yeah, we'll come back to that when we actually look at Wingtail. So, let's actually focus on Blue Booster, because honestly, I think this is actually a pretty ingenious transformation compared to whatever the crap Wingtails one was. So what we're going to do is come into here. Try and get this unpegged. There we go. Unpeg the windshield. Spin the windshield around, and that's just going to lay there for the rest of the transformation. Untap the front of the car. And that, yeah, there we go. All that's just going to accordion outwards. So, now we got that. Now, the way that the front transforms, I think is really cool. So what you do is, if I can remember this, yeah, if you move this down on this hinge. In fact, I actually forgot a step. You're supposed to rotate these bits around first. So just rotate these around, and then you move it down. So you just, on this hinge, move this down. Then on this hinge, move this down. Then on the other hinge, move it back up. Then close up the door here. Then with the tire, just push that in, kind of like skids. And that's the leg all done. So I'm just going to do the same here. So just move it down, move it down, move this back up, close the door, move the tire down, and that's the legs all done. And honestly, I think that's really clever. So yeah. Next, coming to the arms, just going to untab them from here. There we go, so get the hands out. Then get the arms down. Straighten them out. Rotate the arms around. There we go. Just get the shoulders out. So when you open this, you want to grab this as well instead of just the windshield. So all this opens. And how do I explain this? You want to turn this, like all this around with the chest and this bit. So like this. So yeah. Spin the head around, tap in the chest, tap in the back. Get the shoulders back in, move them down. Just rotate these around so he's got elbows. And here we have Blue Booster in robot mode. And compared to Wingtail's transformation, that is a much, that's way more fun. I actually like that transformation, but anyway, getting the two together. Well, that's Sonic and Tails' Transformers. So, yeah. Now, honestly, I do really like the concept, and honestly, I hope they do another one, like, I don't know, one of Robotnik's vehicles as, well, Robotnik himself or something. Or maybe like Shadow's motorbike into Shadow, I don't know. But still, I think this is really cool. Now, because we started with him, let's look at Wingtail. Because I feel he's he's definitely the weakest out of the sets. Now, just standing right now, he looks really cool, because obviously he's meant to be Tails. I like the propeller chest that. It's kind of like Hearts of Steel Starscream. But once we turn him around, oh my god. Now, I get this. I'm pretty sure this is meant to... I think this is meant to be like his two tails, you know, which he uses to fly, but... This, I don't really get. I mean, I guess you could splay it out, so it's like a Seeker. And it does kind of work, but... Still, that's not really the intended thing. I think you're meant to have this backwards. So, yeah, he's kind of kibbly. Like, this, I get, it's meant to be the two tails. But, And even then, he's still got a few issues. Namely, as I said, these wings do come off quite easily. Plus, on my copy, his right knee is a lot looser than the other knee. So, yeah. But anyway, just giving him his gun. Now, yeah, he does look really cool with the gun. But, honestly, I just feel that this guy's the weaker out of the two. Although, if we look at the head sculpt, of course, it's meant to be Tails, just now as a Transformer. So, he's got the optics there instead of the eyes. Yeah, it's kind of weird, but you know, it's kind of like the Decepticons from RID, how they were like all animals, you know. So it's kind of giving me like Steeljaw vibes, to be honest. So yeah. And this guy's articulation, well, the head's on a ball joint, so it can look side to side. He can look up. arms can move, although I'm terrified I'm gonna knock the wing off again. You can T-pose. Pretty sure it's meant to be bicep rotation, although again, I'm worried I'm going to knock the wing off. Double jointed elbows. Waist rotation. You can kick forward, although it's kind of forcing stuff against me there. Really good knees, so you can get him into like a flying fighting pose. Got a fly swivel there. Can do the splits. And he's got a good ankle pivot. So yeah, you can get him into some good poses if you want. As long as you don't mind the wings constantly coming off. So yeah. Oh yeah, plus, what with these wings, he can be a bit easy to knock over, it seems. Although it's probably just because of the loose leg on my copy. Now let's move on to the guy I actually want to talk about. Let's talk about the blue blur himself. And no, not Blur Sonic or Blue Booster. And honestly, I can see this guy living in Velocitron, like racing against Blur, for example. So yeah. And like right off the bat, we can see that, yeah, the feet aren't red just because they're the front of the car. Do I care? Honestly, no, because if the front of the car was red just to make it his shoes in robot mode, then the car mode wouldn't really be as accurate, would it? So honestly, I feel this is a good sacrifice, because the rest, I mean, come on, it's Sonic. I mean, look at the head sculpt. They've even done the weird mono eye, like, what was Sonic? He's got two eyes, but he has the weird white in between them. So they've just gone ahead and made that visor, which I think is really cool. So yeah. Plus these accessories, you can now hold them. Although it's in the size of the hands, so okay. So the ring can just plug in as a shield now. Okay. And the Autobot invincibility power-up container thing, well, that just flips out here. And he's not meant to hold it like this. It's meant to plug into the side of the hand, which, okay. There we go, showing that he's a full-on Cybertronian. So, yeah. And honestly, I think this looks really cool. Plus, he still does have, like, ports definitely to plug in a gun, like, Red Cog or whatever. Or, like, a Battlemaster. Like, I just think that this looks really cool. Plus, his arms aren't blue. See, that's Sonic Boom. So, yeah. Now, I'm sure I can, like, try and get him into a running pose. I'll probably try and do that for the thumbnail. So, yeah. But anyway, for this guy's articulation, head can go side to side. Shoulders can move. He's got elbows, bicep rotation. Wrists, I'll get this off so I can see. Wrists, unfortunately, there's nothing. Probably because of how the weapons plug in, but anyway, waist can rotate. You can kick forward. You can kick back. Let's go, because you need to try and do the running pose. Anyway, of course, he can do the splits. Thanks to the transformation, ankle pivot, and the feet can kind of move. So yeah, I'm sure you can get this guy into a good running pose if you balance him enough. So yeah. Now, honestly, out of these two, I think Blue Booster is definitely the better out of the two. Like, I like Wingtail in concept. It's just he's got a lot of kibble there in the back, but I hope he's got a gimped knee. Plus, these wings, like you saw when I was transforming him, they just keep coming off. So, for my complaints, well, I've already said my complaints with Wingtail, but Blue Booster, honestly, it would be nice if there was at least some red highlights on the feet, so they're not entirely red, but they still invoke the shoes, but honestly, that's just me nitpicking. For actual complaints, honestly, I think for me the biggest complaint with this guy is these don't really tab in. Like they're meant to like tab in. Like you see how they're meant to tab in there for the remote mode, not really tabbing in there for me. So that's kind of annoying. So I think that's my biggest complaint with Blue Booster. But don't get me wrong, this figure is absolutely amazing. And would I recommend this? Well, I mean, Wingtail is kind of weird, but I would still recommend this if you're a Sonic fan, if you're a Transformers fan. I think this is really cool, and I kind of hope that we get another set. Maybe like Robotnik and Shadow. Maybe he lubricates on Eggman's wife. But I just think that this is really cool. So yeah, I definitely do recommend this because I mean it's Sonic and Tails as Transformers. Like I just think that's a really cool concept, and I kind of hope that we get like a Mario one. Maybe it's like the van from the movie as like Mario or something. Although I kind of don't see that happening, unfortunately. But a guy can dream. But anyway, this has been my review on collaborative Wingtail and Blue Booster, or Tails and Sonic. And this is a Transformers fan signing off.